Hey guys, welcome back to the YouTube Editor's Perspective Podcast. Alright, we actually have Tsubasa back on. Say hi.
Hi.
Alright, Popo.
I'm really fucking bored at 11 o'clock at night.
And then, oh yeah, it's later there for you. But, we also have on, for the first time, J-Force.
Hello, YouTube. Not really much else to say. If you fucking know of me, then just Godzilla porn and all that. Blah, 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 blah.
Also, I gotta say hello iTunes because we're on there as well.
Okay, hello iTunes. Subscribe to my YouTube channel.
Oh, shameless plug. Plug.
All sarcasm intended, since half my subscribers are actually dead accounts.
I know how that is.
Yeah. All right, so pretty much what we're going to be talking about.
Wait, we don't get introductions?
Yeah, yeah, I get you. I mean, okay, so, yeah, pretty much.
And by me talking, they know you're here because you're always being overshadowed by my ass. So, it's
yeah, pretty much, we got the two guests, and then we have the usual cast, Comp Rose, Proceed, and myself.
The wrong one.
The lone. Wow, that kind of sounds deep. Too deep for me. But
it's not Metal Screamo. It's too deep for you.
Yeah, pretty much. I was just recording vocals yesterday for a song. My throat hurts. But all right. So the topics of the day are going to be judging, and then I have my whole little story for this, just because. Yeah, but and then. And then we're gonna go into changes on pretty much how YouTube has changed since pretty much how when we all started, and then back and just the AMV community and stuff back then to now.
Bring back bulletins.
Yeah,
bulletins for life.
Oh my god.
No, it's cool.
Bring back 240p as standard.
Oh god, yeah! Bring back 4x3 with pseudo widescreen, with black bars, with cookie cutter black bars in Vegas, so you can actually make it look legit.
Everyone use Vegas 5 and 6 only. Fuck 8.
Yeah, I know. I said that's what I was thinking. Oh god.
Right, I need to get this rant over with just because.
Here we go. He's itching to do it.
I've been dealing
with him on MSN. I'm
rip into the GK spirit. Do it.
I'm sitting there in class, and he pops up a window in my MSN while I have my computer on. So I'm taking notes on my laptop.
I'm at work too on my iPhone while I'm doing this.
And he just starts going again in low and all caps rage, just raging out.
I was not in all caps. I was just very serious.
No, I know when you're in all caps rage.
Well, I mean, I can't. It's very hard to all caps rage on an iPhone because you can't.
That's what I'm saying.
Fucking worth trying though.
I know him too fucking well. The way he was talking, I was like, he's fucking pissed.
Okay, just. This has gone with how I've really changed my opinion in editing over the years. Probably 2 years ago, I'd probably be judging these videos differently. That's before I started going to conventions and competing in conventions. And knowing, what you gotta do to compete at a convention. Compros knows what I'm talking about. It's way differently from, video editing on YouTube.
So different.
Yeah, completely. And when I go about my judging now, I go about it in the mindset of I'd be judging at a convention. I look for, pretty much, consistency, action. I know with betas you're not going to have a story, so, flow of action, or just something along the lines of just making a sort of complete video.
Concept of it.
Like a concept or something like that. And there's a lot of videos where it's just a lot of videos where I just pretty much was clear-cut winner this, clear-cut winner this. There's, I think one match where it was just, really, really close. I showed Proceed the matchup, too, just because it was... Both videos had very good action, very good flow, and stuff like that. But anyways, the example I'm going to give, because J4 pretty much agreed on my opinion, although a bit more bluntly in the comment, but...
Love that, by the way.
It was the matchup with Proceed versus Paladin. And the first 20 seconds of Paladin's video, I can't lie, was really good. It was very, he had a very nice build-up to his video. And if he would have continued from where the build-up was going, he would have been the clear-cut winner. No offense, Proceed.
Yeah. I don't take it. It's okay.
But he makes a very abrupt song cut, like, right in the middle of it, so that, like, really just made me go, oh, okay. And then his flow after that was really weird. The scene selection was just kind of off to me. And, like, this is me putting it nicely, while J-Force's comment was, first 20 seconds were good, the rest was fucking garbage.
Not gonna lie, that comment put a smile on my face.
Yeah, I wish he would. To be honest, I wish he would have kept going with it, because I even said, come on, he's like, I could say the same thing about your editing, but I'm not going to. And this happens with anybody I come at, like, tries to insult me. I will always give him the open door. I'll give him complete free reign to come back at me with whatever logic they can. Yeah. And 99% of the time, they'll never say anything back. And that disappoints me. I want people to come at me with, like, insults and logic and try to have an argument with me. Because I know that I would have beat this guy in an argument with this shit.
I mean, you've been editing on the org, too, for a while, too, J4. So you've been on that community, and you know, like, how nitpicky and stuff like they will give you constructive criticism. Like,
yeah, but my life on the org really isn't much of a life at all. The only thing I really do is I just post videos there, and then after that I pretty much just wait and see if anybody says anything. Yeah. Most of the time, nobody really does. It's mostly just like anybody else. I use it for hosting purposes.
Yeah, but I mean, I've gotten some good constructive criticism on that, and then with conventions stuff like that, and that's how I go about my video or my judging, and like that, and then also another matchup who we also have conveniently here, Tsubasa.
Yes.
His matchup versus Salvadorian. I like how we keep mentioning Salvadorian on the podcast.
Yeah,
he must be loving the plugs. But
he's popping up, you little troll bastard.
But like, he did I went this episode 1 of this podcast. He did the one thing I freaking hate. Just because I probably should dwell more into this too, just because, I mean, I kind of only went into briefly in the first episode. The reason I don't like editing of faces is just because, I mean, there really is no concept or story or anything. In romance, you could do that.
Well, maybe he thinks his face is sexy or something. I don't know.
I don't know.
That's the thing. It's like maybe he wants to keep looking at this guy's face or something.
But just like, you can't really progress anything going from face to face to face to face to face to face. There is no flow of action. There is no. I mean, you could sync, but again, that's just beat face, beat face, beat face. Like, there's really nothing to that. Like, it's just, you can make a good flow, but then just like, what is it? It's like throwing scenes into a video and just calling it a video.
It's not an AMV.
You have to have, like, especially for an actual video.
But then you're bringing up the same argument that's been going on for like the last 15, 20 years to what the real definition of an AMV is. And that's a definition of art.
Yeah, but I mean...
And even then, that's an argument of what if AMVs are even art, you know? So that's another argument in itself.
That's getting deep.
Yeah, that's getting real deep. That's an argument that was solved.
But
he's right. I thought about that point as well, because my last semester I had a history of art class, so this is all like still fresh in my head, and I'm not even going to bother going into it because it's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, but that's a whole nother episode.
Yeah, but I mean, like, the faces thing. The point is I'm trying to make is for like, say a competition. I'm bringing it from this perspective. I'm not talking about just a video in general. If you want to make a random video on your own time, for your own reasons, for just editing faces, cool. But like for a contest, you're gonna throw like where are you showing your skill set? Where are you showing your ability to to show effort through scene use?
Yeah.
You're not showing anything of your editing skill. You're just throwing clips together. That's what it looks like.
Yeah. And then for like. To say, for an action video for me, like, you have to have a flow of action, where it's like, if you see a punch being thrown, you're like, for me, like, the obvious thing to feed next, alright, punch connecting. Like, you need to show the progression of the action. Or if you just go from a punch all of a sudden to a person's face, that to me is like, that doesn't make sense. But it's like, and I mean,
that's also that's another part of the community changing, you know. It's like that's more of this new blending style that's definitely become popular in the last year and a half.
Some of that blending stuff. I was actually going to go to the next. Some of the blending stuff, I don't mind that, especially because like I'll use DA, your Met part for A Slave of Sun. You had some of that blending aspect, like where Frankie was like going into a punch, and then it transferred to Luffy punching someone. That's still a progression of action. It showed a completion of a punch hitting somebody. Like, it didn't go from Frankie about to punch someone to Luffy looking pissed off. Like,
Yeah.
it just, to me, especially, and going back to the quote-unquote Faces video, the guy was trying to tell a story. What kind of story can you tell with just 50 faces of Ichigo in a row? Like,
Yeah.
They're beautiful models.
And I think like any other YouTube video, it was nothing more than it's a tournament. Let's make it look as flashy as we can, you know.
And DBZ had a comment, or DBZ Pack had a comment in the Paladin video. That's what he's really looking for. I mean, he doesn't look for story and stuff like that, which pretty much put Proceed at a horrible disadvantage. Right.
That's all my editing is.
Yeah, but the thing,
story.
but I mean, even if you don't have like a deep story, there's still editing that can be present within a video. I mean,
yeah,
you know, that's the argument sort of like I had with you know, I've had with people, you know, is the argument over editing over concept kind of thing. But
Yeah.
I mean, you know, editing can still exist, you know, and you know, you just do a bullshitted action video that, you know, that gets you through a contest a lot of the time until you get to the higher ranks.
Yeah, I pretty much my view now is through like a convention mindset. That's probably my view is probably a little skewed, but that's I want to judge people how, like, you know, a legit judge.
Yeah.
A legit judge would.
Yeah, but you also got to think is for a lot of us people in the tournament, it was first rounds were free rounds. So basically all we were doing was just kind of testing the waters for what we'd be given and seeing what we could do with it kind of thing. I mean, that's what it was for me with my, you know, my video for the round one. I mean, fucking it's shitty Linkin Park 2010 album music with, you know, crappy rap choruses and all that in there. I mean, seriously, that song's garbage, but I mean, I put out something decent. And, you know, also, like I said, just kind of working off the rust. I haven't really done action in a serious note in so many months. I've been actually, it's one of those parts of changing myself and my editing overall.
Yeah. But I mean, just back in the day, I mean, I was the random action impact whore. DBZ impact horror.
I said I was a Kingdom Hearts editor where lyric sync was God, and if you didn't have lyric sync, you better just start hitting beats, and that was your excuse for you know, not having lyric sync.
Yeah, but I mean, I know I have. I think Comp has. All of you guys have probably judged a video in a certain way or at all, right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we're human beings. We judge anything we look at.
I mean, like in more of like a kind of competitional standpoint, but
Yeah.
just or if someone asks you to, like, hey.
Yeah.
Well, I think it depends. Yeah, I mean, with how long we've been here, I'm assuming that everyone's been editing long enough that we all have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, just like I've kind of explained how I go about it. Free reign. How do you guys go about it?
Well, that's kind of like you said. Like maybe a couple of years ago, it was different for me. And even before then, you know, back when I started in 07, you know, that was back when we were just like, oh, there's lyric sync, or, oh, you're hitting all these beats, and, you know, it wasn't exactly, you know, basically how the cuts flowed, how the scenes worked entirely. It's kind of like, you know, as long as the scene related to what the words were saying, that's all that really mattered to us kind of thing. But now it's like, there actually has to be, you know, that melding of the lyric sync with the actual scene flow, and then having cleaner effects and all that stuff, you know. And that's just another point of, you know, as time goes on, we perceive things differently. Like back then, we thought certain effects looked so awesome, and now we're like, those things are so ugly.
Cookie cutter.
Yeah, exactly. or TV sims and all that. So for me nowadays, really, I judge things more in an actual professionalism sort of standpoint. Like I actually look at things like from movies, like how do the characters line up? Like is from one cut to the next, are the characters about in the same place so that actually when you do the next cut, it doesn't seem as jarring? And if you're using fades, are you using them, you know, to break down, build up, you know, or are you using them to cop out of, you know, a bad scene kind of thing? Or, you know, is your quality decent? Do you have blended frames? Or is your audio crap? Which, you know, it's almost impossible to do that nowadays for most people. So that's not something I worry about. But, you know, there's just, you know, many things like that. I mean, I could mention 1,000 different things, but that's just my crazy little mind. I mean, I started teaching people after a couple years ago. I started to teach people, so eventually I broke down everything that I thought did editing wise into something that like maybe it's done in a movie or it's something that a person maybe who edits professionally would have a logic for. And then I started applying it to my editing, and therefore being able to explain my videos to people in a way that would make them understand.
Yep.
That way they can improve themselves.
Yeah. Yeah, no, like I've been asked to judge a few, ICs and, few just a few stupid little things. I was pulled into judging this tournament for a friend of mine's group because one of their judges dropped out like the third round, so they need like a semifinal and a finalist judge. I helped them out, and I mean, basically, like almost same as J-Force, pretty much. Like I was just looking see if the scenes were used right, that the effects didn't clash with with what was going on with the video, like if like the what do they call the brightness wasn't getting too high up at a wrong point, if the blurs were looking like really intense, too strong at a certain point. Like there's like degrees of what you're doing that you don't want to exceed in the video because then it just looks ugly as shit.
Yeah.
So like I tend to look more at flow and making your effect use flow with the video you're trying to make. Like I don't look at what you've made. I also look at what you were trying to make and see where you're at with it. Like that's what I try to do with it. So like as long as if I can see what you're doing, I can give you the critique that you deserve. If your video's really flashy, yet it just makes no fucking sense to me, that's nice and all great. You know how to adjust effects, but to me, it's not a video unless it makes sense.
Yeah. I can see that. BG, Tsubasa? Or DA, BG, Tsubasa?
You're gonna forget about me? I'll go. It's personal enjoyment. That's what it's all about for me. I'm gonna cite. It was what was it? Round 2 of your failed tournament that it didn't fail. It finished. Yes, it did. That Neko it failed. That it was Neko. She did a Twilight video, which I despise Twilight, but that was actually my favorite video of the entire contest, just because it was just very, very enjoyable. The way that she did everything, all of her effects and the way that she just scene flow, perfect.
I mean, how did you judge the final round for the tournament?
That was him. I didn't judge it at all.
I mean, I was BG. Like it was me, her, and some other person, right?
It was Lewis.
Yeah.
The final round. You always put me on the spot with this.
Oh yeah.
I swear I'm just gonna slam your vid one day. So you just stop asking about. Your vid was just horrible. That's why you lost.
Well, no, I mean, just like I don't care what you critiqued of mine, just how you went about judging it.
The song itself was. I saw it as more of a dramatic song, a song geared more towards drama, I should say, as opposed to a dramatic song. And that's what I look for when I judge something. How well you use the song to bring your point across.
Yeah.
Because if you're using, like you did, if you're using, again, a song that's more drama-oriented, you use it as a more action type of thing. And I just didn't enjoy it as much. Because, again, I was looking for more of a drama type thing, which is something that Lewis and Neko did, and Neko did spectacularly.
I mean, because I was, like, finishing my video up when she uploaded hers, and as soon as I saw it, I was just like, fuck.
I would say your vid was better edited. I will continue to say that. It was better edited. I liked a lot of the effects more in yours.
Yeah.
But overall, I just had to go with hers.
I mean, her story fit well.
Exactly.
It fit well. But, actually, that's one thing. Tsubasa, do you have any input on that judging?
Not really. I'm kind of the same as Combros. I prefer it to be just for fun.
Yeah.
Like, I'll even admit my style is one of the ones that's like the over-horde, flash whoring, fucking fade, zoom, some minuscule masking.
I'm there with you.
I understand that part. I just do it for fun because it's a fun little hobby for me and it kills time.
Yeah. I mean, that's
I don't
another
really have
thing.
any opinions on it. I barely even know what the fuck I'm doing.
that kind of goes into. I mean, that's I think with all of us too. I mean, you go with all that nitty gritty stuff, but bottom line is, if you enjoyed the video too, I think we can all agree on that.
Oh, yeah.
Enjoyment comes into a lot of it. If you don't enjoy it, you know what I mean, then that's a problem.
And there's also, now that I'm going into it too, like judging from like since I've been going to conventions and stuff like that, there's one thing. I mean, there's time constraints with people and stuff like that, but if you're in a competition type environment and you're like, where you're given a song, and like, I'm going to use this example because BG knows what the hell I'm talking about. When you're given a song, you pretty much, the style of it has nothing to do with your type of editing. Like, A Love Will Remain.
Let it go.
You won't be talking about that so bad if you win at Yoma.
I will never let that go. But anyway,
this man is so bitter.
But just like I mean, I'm primarily an action editor, as I've stated before, and that song pretty much, when I saw that, I was just like, oh damn. And I mean, and there's some people just in the tournament when I was judging where they would like repeat just like, yeah, I wasn't really a fan of the song, blah, 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 blah. But it's one of those things where you may not like the song, you gotta tough through it. You gotta give it an like effort and actually really try to do something, like really try to just make it good. And I mean, I really did not like editing that video, but I mean, I won that round and I made it work. And hopefully it'll win it. I mean, as a consolation prize, hopefully it'll win in Yoma. But I think I think you were kind of the same way, J-Force, with the rap song. You said.
Oh. Yeah, but I mean, I'm one of those people who copped out with the song. I mean, all I did was just put action. I mean, of course, like, that's another part, like, with editing, you know, it's like, with my video, it's like, I did random action, but I also set up a perspective type of, like, kind of thing to build up to it. Like, it may not have made any real sense, but at least it started to, it created a build up and it kind of established a type of mood. Like,
yeah. I mean, it was a 40-second beta, so there's so much you can do with that, but in comparison to your opponent, when I was judging it, you actually had a nice flow of action. It went along with the beat, and it's pretty much your opponent, like, he didn't like it just because there's no really heavy impact beats. But with, like, a rap type of song,
yeah,
kind of just had to go.
Yeah, but just to be honest, he's generic as anyone else. All he did was he kind of did that dubstep sort of feel to me, like with editing, like where he just put a whole bunch of motion scenes together, and then he would just blur them and let the motion just go between the fades, and like there was no real sync or anything whatsoever.
I mean, you just kind of got to go with I gave him some advice on it just because he said that. I'm just like, with like a rap type song or something with like.
But a guy who 1080p some of his Dragon Ball Z videos, I really don't think there's much hope. I'm sorry, I try teaching people, but I do tell people realistically if I ever think there's any hope of them getting better. And I don't know. If someone like that came up and asked me, I said unless he really took it to heart and tried to change himself as an editor, like at least in terms of trying to create good editing overall, I don't really think anything come out of it.
Well, just like I was trying to get to the point I was trying to make, like that kind of song. I mean, if you can't really hit the beats, you just kind of have to go with the flow of the song. Just kind of listen to it, go with the flow, and then just kind of make your scene progression go with that flow of the song. You can't really hit many beats. There might be a little small one here and there or something you can try to hit. But like you just kind of gotta go with especially like that in like a drama song or like a slower like song where you're not gonna hit action beats. That'd be really stupid. Like, but you just kind of have to go with the flow of the song and just really gotta set an overall tone. And I felt, I mean, just from me watching your video, you accomplished that. Congrats.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I understand. That's pretty much it. Yeah.
Let's see, but I guess. I mean, we've pretty much talked to death about judging, and I'll probably get a lot of like hate messages for this.
Like I said, I've judged a couple ICs, and that's just like 5 seconds of, oh, look at these two videos, tell us which one's better, and I just give like a couple of comments, you know. So I really wouldn't say I've done much in the way of judging anything. And I mean, this is my first ever tournament I've been in. I've actually never done a tournament before, just because No, I don't. I'm not a person who enjoys time constraints and deadlines, and I actually enjoy doing what I do. You know, like not always being.
Yeah.
But of course, it's like you said. It's another form of it's another type of challenge, I guess. And you know, I thought I'd give it a shot for once after Actually, since I've been editing for almost 5 years, I thought it'd be something I should at least try once.
Have you ever competed in a convention?
I've submitted a video to a couple that are around here in Missouri. So that I said there was just a couple small cons here, but I won Best Action one year, and then another year I got a judge's choice, and that was okay. I mean, of course, cons aren't a judging of editing really, as sometimes they're judging of popularity of sources, songs. And,
I mean that's fan voting.
But it's not. It's the fact is that maybe the judges themselves aren't much better than the fans that are there to watch the videos, kind of thing.
The one we go to, Youmacon, the judges.
Yeah, that's different. Like I said, these are cons over here in the Midwest where. I'm like, it's not like Anime Central or anything. Those aren't the ones I'm submitting to. I only submit the cons I actually go to.
Yeah.
But I just did actually recently submit my most recent full video on my channel it has Video Girl Eye on it with a Death Note OST song.
Yeah.
I just submitted that to New York Anime Fest, and I'm actually a finalist in the drama category for there.
Very nice.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm hoping I submitted freaking 6 videos to Youmacon. I better win something, or I will be pissed off.
I don't know. I doubt I'll win, just because, like I said, it's an old anime with an instrumental song, with a no lyrics or anything. I really doubt it's gonna appeal to many people, unless everybody there's like 30 or 40 years old and they remember the first day they watched Video Girl Eye on their VHS tapes that were bootlegged from China and they were subtitled really crappily. Something like that shit. Or they had like someone they knew who could speak Japanese. I don't even know if it was even watched that much in America. Like, I don't know what animes, of course, because I'm not that old. I'm only 21, so I don't like. So it's not like I know of every anime that possibly was imported over here that people fell in love with within the early 90s. So
Astro Boy for the win in the 60s.
Okay, Grandpa.
I'm only fucking 22. I'm no damn grandpa.
All right, but you're talking about like it's like
You
the
lived
60s. Yeah.
No, I just get bored and browse Wikipedia for hours on end in a call, quoting random shit.
The book.
But isn't that really what 4chan is for?
He's banned. Didn't you listen to the last podcast?
Yeah, I got fucking 2 permabans for going on the hentai board and trolling the mods.
Oh my god.
I got banned the first time. My buddy renewed my IP address, and I got banned a second time, and now all I see when I go there is a dick covered in bees saying, sorry, the board is gone.
Oh god. Right.
The only thing I do on 4chan is I just go to W and look at the anime wallpapers for like 3. Like if I'm truly bored, I'll do that for like 3 hours, and then like at the end of it, I'll search through everything. And I'm like, okay, this is my new desktop background.
Have fun. Go to the Yowie board, post Yuri, wait for self-destruction.
I've seen those boards, so I know exactly what you're talking about.
God. I stay away, but
except for W, yeah, I stay away from most everything.
I
else.
fucking love W. I used to get a lot of my papers from there.
That you can get a lot of vectors and such, or you can actually make personal anime wallpaper requests or something, and people will usually reply to you. So it's kind of, I mean, it's a pretty active community on that side.
Yeah. Unlike our forum, sadly.
Yeah.
I'm active there.
But YouTube would be more active if you'd put bulletins back in.
All right, good segue. I like it. But, yeah, just like when I first came on YouTube, 07, 06, 07, around there. I think 06 just because before I did AMV editing, I for school projects I did machinima, like with Halo and stuff like that. I want to do another video really bad. Those were fun.
I hate
but
it because it sucks.
just you shut up. But anyway, but I used to do machinima and stuff back in the day, and then I slowly kind of came into the AMV community. And man, God, I mean, just I think Proceed said in the podcast best. It was before Google. It was before Google came in, man. YouTube was...
That was our golden age.
Yeah, it's pretty much the golden age. I mean, groups.
Oh,
Where did those go?
Groups. I don't even know why they got rid of them. They were like...
I
Make room for
Before
Facebook
they
groups.
even updated them, those things worked perfectly.
No. The original groups from back in 07, when they changed it, it was...
Oh yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Really
Before before Yugo came around and changed it, the original groups were perfect the way they were. There really was no reason to change it. That was one of the forced changes Yugo made that really just made no fucking sense at all. It served no purpose.
Yeah. I mean, God, there's a lot of shit. I mean, I have my original studio that I was in for, like, Pointless Royalty. That's a good name. I still need to use that name for something. Pointless Royalty Studios. Then, did you...
Hey, Ralph. You said you know of the Kingdom Hearts community, right?
Yeah, back when it was.
Do you remember Valor Studios by P. Williard?
Yeah. Oh, Willard. I love.
Oh god, dude, I was part of that shit back in 2007. That's what that reminds me of. Is back in 2007 when I was in YouTube groups, it was things like Valor Studios with P. Williard.
Yeah. Oh, I love. I had him sub forever. I loved his videos.
Yeah, but he's just one of those guys who really hasn't made a legitimate video. And he made a video last year, but even before that, it was like 2 years before he made a legit video.
Yeah, no, I know, but it was like back in the day before. Even before,
there's so much shit I want to mention. There's so much shit I want to mention, but that's segued more into when I talk about how I grew up in editing. That's more. Yeah. Well, I'll move into that when that comes, because if there's things I could say about myself in the Kingdom Hearts community that would make a person who knows of that past, that would make their mouth drop, kind of thing.
Oh god,
I can explain why that community failed. I was actually there. I was there when the Kingdom Hearts community from 06 to 08 failed.
I was there when the world ended.
Well, when that world ended, yeah, that's why I came to anime, because that whole community collapsed on itself and almost every oldie quit. I'm one of the remnants of that community who actually kept editing. That's just what happened with me.
Oh god.
But I mean, think about it. Kingdom Hearts as a source, who's it mostly appealing to? 12 to 16-year-old girls. So I mean, you get a community. You get a community. There was some of the stupidest crack pairings ever. There was even one. If I don't even know if Ralph knows this, but there used to be a pairing called Sora X Wall. Do you remember this one?
Yeah, I do.
Oh my fucking god! Ralph. There was this one fucking wall in Hollow Bastion and then they would just do the humping scene with Sora and this wall from Hollow Bastion. Oh my!
Looks like the wall got hard.
Remember?
Exactly.
God.
Or back in Kingdom Hearts, since there was Organization 13 members, basically you would take the two members that were paired together, and you would basically have the month and the day, and you'd just be like, okay, so this month and this day, that's their pairing day, and then so those days would come up, and you'd have a shit ton of girls making pairing videos for those people, like Aku Raku Day for 8, I think it's 8/13 is Aku Raku Day, and there was just a shit ton of videos that would come out for him.
Oh my god.
And then the fan fiction flowed.
Oh my Jesus Christ. Oh my god, I read some of those too.
Oh, why?
You must be scarred.
Only partially. I'm
Partially.
stronger than that.
Doesn't go screaming at the moon at night.
I can still watch videos out of one eye. I'm okay, sort of.
You ever hear of KH Friends? Back in the day, the detached movement and all that crap?
Yep.
I was in that.
Were you?
Yeah, I was in the detached movement MEP. I was part of KH Friends, actually.
Were you still the same name?
Yeah, J-Force 321.
Why the fuck don't I remember you?
Yeah. See, just because I faded away, after that, I came to anime, and anybody who knew me Kingdom Hearts-wise, kind of they were either gone, they were just, all of them were gone. But yeah, I was part of KH Friends, when that chat room first opened up, KH Friends was an AIM chat room that was started back in the beginning of 2008, where the most famous Kingdom Hearts editors of our time were in that chat room, and we talked to each other. Hasley was in there, That Duma Kid was in there, P. Williard, Avidity, who else was in there? It was just we had Evil Merc 8, we had Suki, who was FPT Rebirth, we even had Clover Garvin in there at points, we even had the Only Doily and all those girls as well. Every person between the Kingdom Hearts / Final Fantasy community that did all that story masking stuff, they all crossed this chat room at one point. And this is the part that would make people's mouths drop in that community. I actually had an online relationship with Hasley at one point. Yeah, like, if you remember I know it sounds fucking, I know, online relationships are stupid, but the fact is I can say that because Hasley back then was the most famous emotional editor of all time for Kingdom Hearts and back then she had over 10K subs actually. She had a 10 plus K sub account. She was she was the Shinny of our world, basically. Yeah,
no, he's right. He's right though. He is.
Yeah, so basically, back then, I didn't even have 100 subs, so it's a tiny little editor me with less than 100 subs having an online relationship with the most famous Kingdom Hearts editor of all time. But the problem is that nobody knew this. No, the thing that nobody knew. Yeah,
What was that?
Well, the problem is that nobody knew back then was that Hasley was actually a bitch. Like, hey, Ralph, remember all those random messages she would put on her channel, like these depressing messages, and those times she would make her entire channel black or something, and she would just some of those were because of me back then too, because of the failed online relationship, because she was only 16. She was so over emotional and depressed, and she just caused drama, and she was an attention whore back then. So all she did was she would just cause drama and shit, and then she would cause it between Avidity. I talked with Avidity and P. Williard. Actually, at one point, Avidity and me got so close that P. Williard told me to back off. Like,
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, dude, I was involved with the most famous.
Throw my keyblade at you if you don't back off.
That's kind of fucking what it was. So basically, me, a guy who had never been a part of a community, comes in, and I'm friends with some of the most famous people of the day, and all this shit's going wrong. But basically, that happened, the relationship began about mid-08, and then, towards, 2/3 of the way through the year, finally it was just coming to pieces. And, I was an asshole because I was so fucking mad and bitter about the whole thing. But what happened with Kate's friends eventually is that since they were all girls, there was the few guys in there, and all those guys ended up online dating all the girls in there eventually. So basically what happened was there's all this bad blood between people, and then after Hasley and me broke up, then everybody just got so fucking mad at each other, and then just shit went wrong, and that chat room died. We had a second generation of people start to come in, but then they quickly died off as well. So basically after all of the drama between the online relationships and all that, and the anger and hating between editors, a lot of them just started quitting. So basically, after I had her break up with me, and then that chat room fell apart, I just kind of wandered around until I came to anime back in mid-09.
Yeah, that makes sense now. That timeline makes sense to me because it is around the time that I just stopped watching. They just stopped coming out.
That's the point. That's when they died. That's when they died.
So, and that's when I got heavy. That's when I picked up Vegas for myself. I was using WMM for my anime, and that was that. This is when I met low when I first started using Vegas.
Yeah, even all those times when P. Williard and Avidity, when they'd have those messages to each other on their channels, I knew why those were being posted. I was the one who was talking with them about these things, shit.
So you were the middleman? You were the consoler of both sides. You're just sitting there
Yeah, basically, I got emotionally involved in all of this stuff. I even created a Ventrilo chat room at one point and started getting them in there to talk with each other. Yeah, but then that just showed more of P. Williard's jealousy eventually. And me and Hasley, when we were having our breakup stuff, that was where we started having some of our arguments too. So that was kind of a bad idea.
So life lesson, people listening: don't have online relationships.
They're really fucking stupid. Don't ever do an online relationship.
Well, just anything related to Kingdom Hearts.
No,
you're an asshole. Yo, listen. First of all, you were with the biggest Kingdom Hearts hater on this planet.
No, I'm pretty sure that's Veg. I'm pretty sure it's actually Veggie.
Oh, really? Worse. This guy.
Trust me, Veggie is such a religious Kingdom Hearts hater. It's not even funny.
VG Veggie, it makes sense.
I want to hear it.
I had 30-minute, 40-minute arguments with him about why the source is what it is and what's different about it and shit. He's just like, it sucks. The source sucks. I hate Kingdom Hearts just for fags.
It sucks. The story sucks.
Kingdom Hearts
excuse
is
me, I've had
fanfiction
a
the game.
7-year conversation with him about Kingdom Hearts.
All right, Albert, you can go ahead and do that if you want.
It sucks. I'm sorry. It is terrible.
Ever since it came out, we've been arguing back and forth about what's wrong with it, what's right with it. There's no convincing this guy, and I'm tired of trying.
Yeah,
just do me a favor, stab him in the neck, and we're done.
Yeah, but the thing that was cool about Kingdom Hearts as a community was it was a different niche. The fact is you had the anime, which was evolving as it was, but the fact is there's so many stages of anime that never happened within Kingdom Hearts. We actually created our own styles and had our own run through our editing, you know? So, like, when I switched over to anime, I didn't understand this flash blur horror editing that everybody was talking about. Like, because in my community, all that and this beta revolution stuff that was coming out around '08 and stuff, and people were complaining about the thing was that in my community, up until the community collapsed, we were all making full AMVs still. So to me, that made no sense. The and because, you know, it was lyrical, we weren't really doing heavy action stuff if we did any at all.
I mean, back
we didn't. We didn't understand. We didn't do pancrops or any of that stuff. We didn't do, like, you know, all these crazy ass things, you know, like crazy masking or this really crappy AE stuff. You know, we didn't do any of that.
But back in the day too, with, like, I mean, action videos. If you're going like the 07 of like the King Davids, the Tony 8000s, I mean, they were making full action videos too. Like it was around 08, as you said, when like the beta stuff just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And I mean, I'm guilty of, or pretty much all guilty of it.
Yeah. The issue with it is kind of more is that younger people started coming in, people with less of an attention span, and people who really more viewed it as a hobby than anything else.
Present.
And that's kind of, I mean, if you look at a lot of the old editors who were like really awesome, you'll notice that a lot of them are like my age, you know, like they started when they were like maybe 15, 16, and now they're like graduated high school and stuff, and they're living regular life, and they don't really edit anymore. And if they do, they're kind of like me, kind of thing, you know, they're just kind of exploring their own thing.
I mean, pretty much you said I'm 21 as well, and I think everyone in here is older than us. So pretty much we're all like older and stuff like that. I mean, I still do it just because I find it fun and stuff like that, and I do find competing in conventions and stuff fun.
I find being serious about it fun in a way, because, you know, that's more of my passion in it. You know, that's my desire kind of thing. It's like that's another thing that people don't get. It's like if you're passionate about editing and you have these things you say and you're so expressive about it, people just consider you being too serious about it anymore. And it's like it's just that it really gets me going kind of thing. You know. And it's like, that's not a bad thing at all, you know? If you're not really into what you're doing, then how are you ever supposed to really create something amazing in your mind?
Oh, God, we're having an epic text conversation right now on the Skype.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
You're welcome.
All right, I'm just going to read this. Just
ladies and gentlemen, I have quit the internet. I have quit the internet.
Boston, pretty much just, we're having this whole thing of like Kingdom Hearts is suck personified, blah 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 blah.
Why?
And then Tsubasa pretty much derails everything, going Roxas X Axel equal Advent Children for kids.
I love it. I absolutely fucking love it.
Actually, going with like back to the YouTube stuff like that, I never used bulletins at all. Really thinking about it, I never did.
You suck. You missed out.
I used them. I'll admit I used them because you know, like I started. What I did was I came to the community. I just started inviting all these random people, and all of a sudden I noticed there's bulletins. And you know, that's kind of how you met people back then. Was you had these people making these random chain things where they'd make messages, or they'd be like, "Hey, it's my birthday today," and everybody would go to their channel and they'd be like, "Happy birthday," kind of thing, you know. Or it'd be like, "I made a new video," and it's like, "Oh, sweet," and you'd find people and you'd subscribe them this way because they weren't necessarily people you were subscribed to. They were just like correlating between friends on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually have like an old picture of like my old computer setup where I took a picture of my screen, and on the bottom left I saw that. I'm like, oh my God, there's the bulletin. I keep that picture around just because of how reminiscent it is to me. Oh, yeah. That also reminds me of like old phases of YouTube, like.
Oh God, like I can imagine.
Do you remember the era where everybody started making those first started making those overlays back in 08, like that they put on their channels now? Like, you know, like it has the squares for this section. It actually like says
yeah.
But like back then,
yeah, and they forced everybody.
Yeah, but back then there was actually a color code you could use that actually removed the black lines on all of your stuff. But the color code got removed like 3 months after people found out about it. But basically, you could remove all the black lines on your channel and basically literally just have the background, you know, layout thing be your thing, you know, for that. Because, like, all the girl editors in Kingdom Hearts found out about it, and they're like, oh my God, we can make layouts exclusively without having to worry about black lines or anything, and they just started going crazy on that. That's what it reminds me of, stuff like that.
Bedazzle our profiles, woohoo!
Okay, yeah, I'm not even gonna. Yeah, alone. All right. All right with that one.
I work in a Radio Shack and I hear shit about cell phones all the time. Don't judge. But like I just remember just with all the old groups and stuff like that, all the conversations. I mean, me and Proceeds like debates and crap with videos and stuff in the old UG Black Ops groups, and then me doing videos with Pointless Royalty, and then
you and me had epic conversations.
Oh god,
we had epic conversations.
Organizing MEPs on there. I mean, I think it was still a bit difficult then on the groups.
Difficult? How about nearly fucking impossible?
Like, I mean, the last Firstborn map from UG Black Ops.
Fucking remind me.
Jeez, man, that was hard as hell to freaking try to.
Don't fucking remind me.
Me and you both did 2 parts for that map.
Yeah, we did.
People dropped.
I can't do this song. This song sucks. I can't do it. Okay, I'll take your fucking part when it's due next week. And then,
oh god!
This is coming from the guy who's late on all of our maps.
I remember the first part that was dropped was gonna come to you. I was like, you know what? No, don't worry about it. I'll take the second part. I know you're busy because you were busy at the time. I know there was something going on with you.
At school or something. Or
yeah, and then so I'm sitting there. I'm sitting there. Cause this is before I was going to schools. Before I got my job and everything. So I could sit there and fucking edit my heart away. I really didn't care. And then what happened? Another motherfucker drops, and I get addressed from you on YouTube saying, "Dude, I have another part now." I was just like, "God fucking damn it, this is all gonna fail." Before we know it, I thought by the time it was over, it would be one big collab between me and Lone. I was like, everyone to drop 4-minute collab.
You're starting to make me think of the Prodigy MEP that I was in. Like, did anybody here know of the Prodigy MEP that Nightbreak did?
Yep, I remember that. That.
Yeah, because that shit was hell. Like, between me, Nightbreak, and Jeff and them, like, we played hell getting that shit done because we had like 5 people drop, and if you notice by the end of that, we each did like 2 or 3 parts.
Yep.
That's how bad it was. It's like me and Nightbreak were like, oh my god, okay, so. Like, Nightbreak's like, I have this part that he's like, Mally did this really shitty Karo Kyokai part, and he doesn't want to redo it. And so I'm like, okay, I'll do something with it. In like 10 hours, I cooked up my part I had, and either people were like, Nightbreak's part was the best, or they were like, they liked my Karo Kyokai part the most. And I mean, I'm glad I did that. It was a fun video, and I still like it. But that MEP was fucking hell, because everyone's like, oh, I can't edit Prodigy, and it's like, blah, blah, blah about this, or it's like, I can't do this anymore. Or it's like you just don't hear back from someone for like 2 or 3 weeks, or it's like someone's account gets deleted and they never get back to you, and you're like, "What's their new account?" It was just so much hell.
Or their computer crashes.
Yeah, it took us 6 months. Like, even from the time I got in on the MEP, it still took us another 6 months of me, Nightbreak, and everyone else just coordinating between each other and trying to find people to fill this up to get it done.
That is a typical way of the Pride map.
Yeah, and even then, except for like a few parts in the Prodigy MEP, that whole MEP was like garbage. That's the depressing part.
Yeah. Like, I mean, see, Compros, what you should do is like for your editing through the ages, you should just invent different brothers on the account. This is AC. This is TH. Just fill parts if it doesn't get done. You've already established your brothers. You can have as many as you want now.
Yeah, YouTube. We needed help in this map, so our parents decided, to adopt a few kids. You can sleep out, make like a fuck production line.
Get enough, you can make your own religion.
No.
We are the religion of comp. Weird shit and all.
You take the assembly line. You have one person master shakes, another master flow, another master blurs, and there you go. You have a vid in half an hour.
It'll be the first AMV production agency.
Compros
Best
United.
idea ever.
But then, like, I mean, going back into those, like, nostalgia days, and then going into YouTube, or Ugle now.
Ugle.
Oh, God. It is so terrible.
I mean, once, like, Google really took over, I mean, that's when people started disappearing to account ban. They're like, hey, where these, this person got, where is it? everyone. I'm alone. What happened?
I remember that.
It
I
was
remember
time
that.
now.
I don't know if anybody ever. He wasn't really that big. Everybody knows Samurai Zale?
I
Not
don't
me.
remember him now.
No, he wasn't that big, but he was pretty good for being back in the day.
Yeah.
He was nothing great, but I looked up to him a little bit, and like I always talk to him. Me and him a lot of back and forth conversations about like what flow should be, and then one day, boom, gone. I was just like, wait, what? What happened here? And then I look around and I notice other people are fucking ninja vanishing all over YouTube. And I was like, what the hell's going on? At the time, I didn't know Google bought YouTube. I was like dead in the dark. I was not paying attention to what the fuck was going on for shit. And then I found that out, and I found out that YouTube was, now banning people for certain things, and I was just, I was like,
A big proprietor of that too. Do you remember the big Viacom spree?
oh, fuck
Oh,
Vine.
yeah.
Please,
Oh,
not.
Family Guy.
Dude, the list of videos that came out relating to Viacom, and then everyone tried to get these viral spreads going. It's like, upload this Viacom video to your channel. Let everybody know how they're violating your rights and how we need to boycott their products, like all these Disney and these DVDs and all this other crap. And it's just like, oh my
I'm
god.
surprised like my Avatar video getting taken down because they own Nick.
I've had the stupidest copyrights ever that make no sense. Like, no, I've had a copyright on Kara no Kyokai, an anime that hasn't even been brought out in America yet, and it's not even that popular. Like, it's not like Dragon Ball Z or anything. It's like, it makes no sense that Kara no Kyokai would get an anime claim of all things.
That sounds fucking familiar to me with Negima.
That's how
Yeah,
Proceed's account
that
got
makes
banned.
no sense.
It has
Negima
no
too.
fucking following. Has like a 0% following in America. But I have it up on my channel for literally 3 hours. And I go to bed, I come back, what the fuck happens? My channel's gone.
I have 2 strikes because of it. Like, and not only that, but then like I got a claim on a Chase and Status song. I guess maybe that kind of makes sense, but then like at the same time, it's Chase and Status. I know they're popular in Europe, but like it's still a drum and bass band. It's like, is that really something
You-
that
I mean,
fucking?
you can dispute that a bit.
gotten fucked up.
I did dispute it, and they
When
denied
it's
it.
all
That's
injected.
stupid.
Yes, they fucking denied it, and I used the same claim that I'd used for like 10 other videos, and it was just on this one. And they don't just mute it; they just give me a strike. I'm like, wait, normally you just mute it. Why are you giving me a fucking strike?
Yeah,
What?
on the
Hold
video
on,
that got
hold
me
on.
banned.
I've got the worst, stupidest banning. They took down my vid, King of Thorns. It was King of Thorns anime. It's an anime movie. Who took it down? The recording industry of Japan.
Mine was-
A music entity took down my anime vid.
Mine was just from Sony, like one of the sponsors of the anime.
Same
That's
here.
it. Yeah, mine was from Sony
See, I'm really
Entertainment
just-
in Japan. That's it. Just like one of the people who donates and actually funds that shit. That's it.
Like my last video I got taken down, I mentioned this before, was my I Promise You Alphonse, and using Vic Mignogna's song, Nothing I Won't Give or something.
Vic McNogna.
Big Mignogna, Big
Vic
McDerp. Yeah. But and I mean, it was the copyright claim was from Sony Music Entertainment, and I really don't think they have anything to do with that song, because it was really written, produced, and recorded by Vic Mignogna himself, and he sells the CDs with all of his shit by himself. So I really don't think I was just like so I'm really gonna try because he's at Youmacon. I'm just gonna go up with like a pen and paper and be like, "Would you sign this official consent form for me to use your actual?"
Stick it to you.
Can you autograph this for me?
First thing I had pulled
Right
down,
there.
I had hit copyright. I got copyright for Pretty Cheer footage for the newest hardcore. And it actually banned my account. That's how I lost Tsubasa no AMV Pro and had to get Tsubasa no AMV second.
That was really dumb at times.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're like, I guess we could delve into copyright stuff a little bit. We'll go into more in another one.
You know what's funny though? You know what I think has led to this beta revolution and all this bullshit? It's the Yugle thing. It's the fact that everyone thinks twice about making a full everything thinks twice about what's it called? Not what's that word? Everyone's just afraid of going full throttle into a full video to have it banned. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think that's a big part of the whole thing with the AMV community nowadays. Commit. That's the word. Nobody wants to commit with these things because it's like if you put all this effort into it, you spend like a month, getting all laid out, getting everything solidly done, and then in the matter of 2 hours, it's down and banned, and you have a strike in your account. It's just like, okay, then what the fuck was all that effort for? Because I know I felt like that when my channel got banned. I was just like, really?
I guess. I mean, I don't do, like I said, I edit purely for fun. I actually have a few folds that aren't even available on YouTube anymore due to actual mutes and such that are actually available to the org. But even then, it's like, I wish I could put them back up on there, but it doesn't bother me because I still go back and watch them myself and I find enjoyment from that.
I know. I same thing with me. Well, if I still had my videos, but they're all on my computer's pad.
Yeah, like he's like the big thing that's proceed. Like he had his computer, whatchamacallit, like his computer crashed like twice, and he lost like all of his original files, and pretty much he just had the videos on YouTube. All those are gone now. That's pretty much everything with him.
Yeah. Well, I've been so good at backing up my stuff in the time I've been editing. I still have my original Windows Movie Maker files from 2007 still.
I actually have a few videos on Veo.
No, hey Ralph, I used to have half of the detached movement MEP parts. Like, I was one, because basically what happened was that Hasley was the one putting all that stuff together, but she had to go to bed, so basically I was responsible for getting the rest of the parts and staying up till about 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning just so that I could hand her those parts off in the morning so she could then put it together. But the problem was it was on an old 320 gigabyte I had, but I accidentally gave it to one of my friends and I forgot the files were on there, so when I formatted it, I'm like, oh no, I forgot about these parts, they're all gone. No, because it was awesome because I had all these awesome betas. Like, I had a whole bunch of Hasley betas that nobody had anymore. And, like, even she didn't have them, I don't think, because she was asking me later on to help her track down a couple of videos. It was just, oh, damn. I was so mad because I used to have all these really cool betas. And, that was depressing.
You're telling me, like, one of my favorite videos that I've ever done are the 2 of my parts to the last Firstborn map.
Yeah.
My .hack trilogy part and my Code Geass part. 2 of the favorite things I've ever edited. I love my parts. I put my full throttle into that. Like, Lone, you know this for a fact. You know those parts. I put everything into that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there was cookie cutter, masking, you name it was in there. Like, that was my editing solidified in those 2 videos. And when I lost my channel and lost those videos, I just like bugged the fuck out.
You were not a happy camper that day, but then 2 days later, I could relate.
2 days later,
I can relate.
2 days later, I get like a screen on MSN full of dots. I'm like, not you 2.
Well, yeah, I mean, now it's to the point where it's just like, I mean, you have a hard drive now, so it's just like now you.
Oh yeah, ladies and gentlemen, my 2 good friends here, Mikey, Lone here, and the comp bros who shall not be named. These 2 helped pitched in and they got me a 2 terabyte for my birthday. That was my 21st. That was
good.
great.
Oh, you know what I used to back myself up on? Back when I first started, I started on a I started on a single core Pentium 4 with 1.6 gigahertz for the CPU speed. I had maybe 500 something megabytes of space. 500 something megabytes for RAM. Like some weird number that doesn't even exist anymore. And it wasn't even the same RAM. And then I had a 32 gigabyte hard drive for editing. And it was an old IDE. I couldn't even edit 320 by 240 on Vegas and 2 with an opacity layer above it without it lagging like crazy. But basically what I did is my friend taught me how to partition. So I had 2 16 gigabyte partitions sitting on there. So I basically installed the most basic stuff I could on my computer and my hard drive would already be full. That's one of the reasons I also only edited Kingdom Hearts back then. And I got in the habit of doing only that because it was like, I can't fit any other sources on here other than Kingdom Hearts scenes.
I know. I used to download shit just to use it and delete it and then download something else.
Oh, yeah.
And then even if you did have those files and such still, you wouldn't be able to use them because the sources you had originally are gone.
And I mean, just going with how scripting and stuff has evolved from back in those days. I mean, I would have 100 megabyte sources and stuff like that. Now with me converting MKV footage into a lossless Lagarith codec, those are like 8 gigabyte
Yep.
episodes now with like the quality. So it's like I just like I think I had my old hard drive had like
The hell is
200
8
200
gigs for you.
It's like I had like 240 gigs on my first like editing computer. Like that'd be like done with like 30 episodes of Dragon Ball Z. I could just be like, bam, like. Now, yeah, I have like 5 externals now. Just like
Shit, no way.
I just like not. That's an exaggeration. 3, but like I just every time I keep filling up, I'm like, oh shit, gotta get a new one. Gotta get a new one. It's bad. How long have we been going?
Stop. Wrap it up.
I was gonna say I was about to ask how long we've been going, but all right. Let's see. Ending question. Recommended anime for pretty much everyone to go for.
Oh, here we go. I got it. Anime
me-
or...
Both anime or game like related TV movie thing.
Okay, I'm going first then. Game? Gears of War fucking 3, baby.
No. I mean game related movie.
Games.
I think
Gears
it's
of
Game.
War
You
sucks,
got my
by the
hopes
way.
up. I was bringing up Gears. Game is amazing.
No, it's not. It's
Shut up. You don't like Kingdom Hearts, Gears. Just don't sit in this
Your argument is invalid.
Go,
Oh my gosh.
Detroit, go sit in your hole, go do whatever you guys do over there, hunt ice fish, whatever the fuck you guys do.
That's me!
This is
Oh,
the
right,
Alaska session of Detroit.
I'm nicknamed the Fisherman. I fish for a reason.
I'm going off what I saw in Four Brothers. If you guys go ice fishing in the winter, I don't know.
Oh my goodness.
But
There's no
recommended
ice
anime.
fishing around here.
All right, okay, I'll go. Like I said, it's just something I've been plugging to a lot of people, and since I used it in my most recent video, I really do say that if you like romance videos and such, to go and look at the Video Girl Eye OVAs, and then if you will really like them, to actually look at the manga series. Because, like I said, it's a really interesting series. It's about this girl. It's about this guy who gets rejected by this girl, and then there's a and then he finds this one video store, and there's a girl on this VHS tape, and like it's his story of evolving with this girl, and then trying to keep her from being taken back by these godlike beings and crap. And those godlike beings and stuff become more detailed within the actual manga. It's pretty unique for a series. So it's like that's something I recommend.
For me, the most recent stuff that I've seen, I recommend Casher and Sins, because this the art style is really cool looking. Like I pretty much really loved the art style when I first saw like a trailer for it, and the story, it's like, I mean, it's pretty much robots and stuff like that, and throwing like robots, humans, but it really goes with the concepts of life and death, and just pretty much how like death can affect people's mindset and stuff like that, and it gets really, really interesting. It's a highly recommended show. Anyone else?
Who's next?
Tsubasa?
Well, like I always push in every single call I'm in with people I talk to, and I have converted several people, pretty cure, which I will say it's basically if Dragon Ball Z and Sailor Moon had a beautiful little daughter. And another one I will also plug is the Maho Sensei Negima OADs, the original animation discs, and the movie.
No. I'm gonna shoot you in the face.
No.
If you want to get into Negima, it's a great series. Read it. Fuck.
Oh my god, don't read it though. But it's such a long series. Like,
watch the anime. Just skip season 1 because the animation makes you want an Anhero.
Dude, but then you're also going to argue which version of Negima do you watch, because there's multiple versions that came out.
Yeah,
they're actually based off 2 different mangas. The second season was based off of Negima Neo. I forget what the spring and summer specials were based off of, but
that's the actual manga. The spring and the more recent OVAs.
Yeah, the original.
Those are based off the actual
manga, which
I know. I fucking love those. I was so hoping for them to actually animate the Negi versus Rodkan tournament fight. I was so fucking.
Oh yeah. Okay, I will admit I did. Yeah.
That would have been beautiful.
That fight.
Except now we got fucking bullshit with UA.
I will admit I read the Negima manga for quite a bit, and then after that, it just became a wall of text. I got tired of reading it because the problem is that Negima is such a wall of text-heavy manga series.
It's a talky manga. It is.
There's a difference between being talky and then having a panel with nothing but text, and then another panel with nothing but text, and it literally takes you 10 to 15 minutes to read through a fucking page. How
Sorry,
fucking
you people
ridiculous.
have no right to complain because I'm a Detective Conan fan.
Oh,
I'm
and-
sorry, it's fucking, it doesn't matter. It's just so fucking retarded. So, like, by the time it started happening where the darkness was taking over him, I was just like, screw this. I'm done. I can't read anymore. I don't care how.
Once it got past that, though, dude, some of the fight scenes are fucking
Yeah,
boss.
I know they are.
Negi
People
is
tell-
Goku.
Yeah,
Pretty
I know.
much.
and he is Goku.
I've seen
Super
parts-
Saiyan 3.
No,
I
no,
have,
I'm
like,
sorry,
I have no
we're
passion
wrong.
with the, like,
Yeah.
chapters.
Negi
Yeah.
is like Gohan if he was Vegeta's son.
Yeah,
They just finished the Mad World arc, actually, but I've got to wonder what they're going to do next.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
I-
it's
now,
getting
prepare for a
slow
time
right now, but yeah.
Prepare for a time skip.
yeah, I don't know. I just can't go back to it. I mean, even if it is gotten good, it's one of those things where I've just lost the will, kind of thing.
Yeah, that's like me in One Piece.
One
Really?
Piece is always One Piece is just horrible to begin with, so whatever.
I
Whoa,
dropped
stop!
Bleach
You
Naruto.
suck! You suck! Get
You
out!
bad?
You're banned forever from this podcast.
No,
Forever.
like this. I've been reading it consistently, but ever since they started this new arc, I can't. The chapters I can't even read them anymore.
You know what that sounds like? It sounds like Bleach syndrome after they finally beat Aizen. Now
Full bring. Lol.
it's like Bleach syndrome, where like the manga now, after Aizen's dead, there's literally no fucking reason for the series to keep
honestly,
going.
Honestly, drop Bleach
this
after
whole
that.
entire Bleach arc is
Tight Kubo is the
Sick.
definition of beating a
It's
dead horse.
Literally now, it's just literally beating a dead horse that's been dead for like the last 5 years. It's stupid.
legitimately. Tight Kubo is manga's biggest troll. He is. He's manga's biggest troll.
What was no
He
the
makes money doing it, so whatever.
little Karibo thing with where they were doing Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal? It's like, let's ask the Yu-Gi-Oh! Creator Hashi Takahashi. I like money. That's essentially what Taikubo is. I like money.
I can't wait to see what fucking Kishimoto does to Naruto after he eventually does take down Madara and fucking Naruto.
No. See, with Naruto, we already see where this whole thing is going. Like, there's actually an end in sight. Naruto's going to die.
Yeah.
Sasuke's going to become
Yay!
Yeah, and yeah, I mean, like Bleach and any other series, that's no longer possible because like it's literally like you think you're at the very very end, and then they create like this entirely unbelievably irrelevant like series of events. It's like, oh, here's another 15 million chapters you can create and another 1,500 episodes. You know?
Yeah. Luckily, these chapters we're up to right now are just showing that Naruto is coming to a close soon.
But all right, BGDA recommended anime.
Something recent, Michigo to Hatchin. I will have to say that I have not seen, and I am going to use this word, I have not seen an anime this cool since Cowboy Bebop. It's seriously,
Same guys, Cowboy Bebop.
is it?
Yeah.
You're
Oh.
setting expectations really high. That's
It is
like
a
legendary.
spectacular, like seriously. 5 episodes in, if you don't love that series, you don't like anime.
I never watched
It is-
Cowboy Bebop because I don't like anime then.
oh my god, Cowboy Bebop was boss. Okay, that
It was.
Yeah, Michigo to Hatchin.
Let's
We
speak
can
about
check it out.
it.
The thing about Cowboy Bebop, the thing with Cowboy Bebop and those old animes that you used to see off of Toonami and Adult Swim back then is like you were young, so young that you really couldn't understand how amazing they were. And then like later on when you got older, you were just like, these are the greatest things ever. That's what it was. It's like
Oh, it's
things like
true.
Fooly
It is
Cooley and them.
true.
It's like things like Fooly Cooley didn't make sense to you, and you're like, what the hell is going on? It's like I mean, even now things like Fooly Cooley hardly make any sense, but it makes no sense in the most awesome way possible.
Fuck your life. I'm not even going to type that in chat. Fuck you. You people are dead.
Oh, it's okay. The kid.
At
it's
least
okay.
we have competent leaders.
Fuck that shit. You guys are gonna get put in with all the rest of the world at some point.
Yeah, you have competent leaders, right?
Nobody. No
I'm
government
pretty
has
sure one of the
competent
guys
leaders
running-
anymore.
I don't know, I'm pretty sure one of the guys running for your next prime minister is a giant Trekkie who who fucking dresses in his
It's
Trekkie.
live long and prosper.
Yes, exactly what I'm talking about. I know people in Canada. I see pictures of this dude.
All right, DA recommended.
Competent leaders, my ass.
I like my igloo.
Okay.
All
Come
right.
ice fishing with us.
Okay.
I'll bring the bait.
I know Lone wants to finish this up though. I think
know,
we should last one.
It's fine. But DA, you're recommended?
Yes. Canon 2006.
My God.
Shut up. It
Yeah,
is.
Stand him.
Why don't I just go watch Clonad?
Oh God, not Clonad. That's fucking Depression the series.
Yes!
Sorry, no. No. You want me to say Clonad is the
Stop the conversation of Clan Ad, because he will go into like a 40-minute rant of why he
Okay,
hates it.
we're done.
So keep it moving.
Can I continue? No. I want to continue with my canon in 2006. Because that
Okay,
is
go.
clearly
Okay.
the supreme.
Okay, no, go ahead.
It's done by Key. So first off, it is visually beautiful. That's the first thing you will notice. It's romance. It's got plenty of comedy, bit of action in there. It's harem, so it will switch up on you, the girls, of course. And
Oh,
it's
hentai game.
Probably started off at.
That's what Clanad did.
Yeah, I know. Like that's what a lot of the most famous anime series are. They were originally hentai games.
Yeah.
Law of Fate Stay Night.
All right, proceed. Did you mention one?
I mean, to be honest, I haven't really watched a new anime
I just wanted to recommend.
in years. But, I mean, it's hard for me to recommend because I really haven't watched any good ones really lately. And everyone I know is really mainstream. I mean, I guess if you guys want to check out, like, a good old school one, I would suggest something like going back and rewatching Gundam Wing, for instance.
I fucking love you.
You appreciate it more if you watch it now compared to when you watched it when you were 15. You don't really get the government and the politics of it. That is probably like the most political heavy Gundam series ever made.
Speaking of Gundam Wing, I actually have like a collector's edition book from one of their old figurines. Actually, yeah,
Nerdgasm.
Yeah, I actually found what was happening is like I was at this convention and this guy he's been going to Japan for years. And he has, like, this guy who brings back stuff. He's like, oh, he found these. They were, like, booklets that were with an old figurine from Gundam Wing. And they had just, like, the artwork and everything in them. And it was still sealed. And I'm like, I have to have this.
Yes. I actually just re-downloaded because I didn't put it in the terabit, and I'm glad I didn't because I just found a better version. I just found a Blu-ray copy of Endless Walls that I just finished converting myself. And, yeah, editing the shit out of that soon.
I
All
love
right,
using
and then,
that. I love using Gundam. That's fun.
I'm sorry. I love using Gundam Wing. That's all I can use. I really can't edit anything else Gundam. Gundam Wing is just like, that is the epitome of like my favorite series. Like, it goes Gundam Wing and then Code Geass, Volusia the Rebellion for me.
All right, and then I actually want to do a little plug real quick before we end it. For people listening on iTunes, I don't know if you've realized this yet, but we have a YouTube channel. But it's actually, let me try to pull it up on here real quick. Wait, did you post it? No, stop it, proceed. But anyways, it's like youtube.com/ I think it's like WOTP podcast YEPP, I think. But
if you give me like 3 fucking seconds, I can get it for you.
Okay, but anyways, we finally have permission to upload the full videos up on YouTube. We don't have to do it in post.
Yay!
So if you want to, if you're on YouTube,
Okay,
subscribe.
It's youtube.com/user/WOTPPODCASTYEPP. Wave the Pride Podcast.
Yep.
YEPP.
Wait, yeah, like Way the Pride podcast. Yep. And
The two
so pretty much.
It's
Yeah,
a
two-
PP.
But yeah, pretty much we're on there now. Subscribe, like, comment, because that'll just make YouTube happier.
It'll make us happy too.
It'll make us happy too. We like it when we hear from you guys.
Yeah,
Good.
comment, you best.
Good or bad, we like both.
Comment.
But thanks a lot for Jay Force and Tsubasa coming on.
Love you all.
Bro,
It was a pleasure.
As usual.
All right. See you later, guys.